La Crosse Local is proud to be a sponsor of the La Crosse Winter Roots Festival, brought to you by Ultra Federal Credit Union. We invite you to celebrate music, cuisine, artists, makers, brewers, and distillers in the new La Crosse Center Riverside Ballroom. Musical entertainment includes Dan Sobronic, Reed Grimm, Tug, The Remainders, Greg Hall and the Wrecking Ball, and the Trippin' Billies, the nation's most renowned Dave Matthews tribute band. La Crosse Winter Roots Festival is presented by the La Crosse Center, La Crosse Local, and with special thanks to The Remainders.
I'm going home. Hey, I'm going home.
Find out more information and how to get tickets at lacrosselocal.com. We chatted with the fellas of the LAX Food Hall. Opening this June, the hall will be a new dining experience that offers a unique chance to try a variety of restaurants under one roof, including a full bar and a communal dining hall. We chat about what to expect and dig into this new concept for the area. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brett.
And this is La Crosse Local.
Well, my name is Michael Margulis. I was born in St. Louis. I kind of grew up back and forth between St. Louis and Chicago, but I went to high school in St. Louis, so that's pretty much where I'm from. I'm an architect by trade, but I started a few businesses before, like apps and little stuff. Going through college, I didn't take student loans. I just, because I dropped out of high school and got my GED and then went to community college and then a real university. So they wouldn't give me any student loans. So I had to work full time through it. So I worked in the bar industry and then restaurant industry in Chicago. And that's how I was making my monthly payments on school. So I had to worry about getting the grades good enough and then hoping that I had the next month's thing or the grades didn't matter. That's kind of how this industry, I was looking at La Crosse and I just moved here 3 years ago. And I was like, this city's missing a lot of little things that I'm used to. Coming from Chicago, the food was the first thing I thought of because I was like, I cannot get a knish in this city for the life of me. And then being from St. Louis, and I was like, well, I just want to go get gizzards then. I got to have gizzards. It's kind of a country town. And then no gizzards, no knishes. And I was like, well, okay, here's a problem.
My name is Zach Switzer. I'm from Southeast Michigan, so it's right suburbs, a city called Livonia. I graduated in 2018 from Michigan State University. I'm a proud MSU grad. And I actually worked at the dining halls on campus, and it was a concept similar to a food hall. They'd have different, not vendors, it was all run by the same place, but different like food concepts and different kind of stall-like areas where they do that. So that's kind of how I got into it. But yeah, this is my first time really starting a business or stuff. So I'm really, really excited about all this. But like
excited and terrified back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Like Michael said, we were kind of thinking about what does La Crosse not have? What does the city need? And I had lived in Milwaukee a few years before this. That's where I was introduced to the food hall concept. When I lived there, there were two of them there, one called Crossroads and of course the Milwaukee Public Market. And it was a new idea to me and I really liked it. So I was, well, that's what La Crosse doesn't have, a food hall. Some other cities around here like Rochester, they already have one. So I thought it was something La Crosse should have as well.
And what's the little tiny city that has one?
Decorah, Iowa, a town of only 8,000, has a small food hall as well.
Yeah, 5 stalls.
5 stalls, but we figured, well, if a smaller town in Iowa can support one, certainly a La Crosse can with 2 major hospital systems and 3 colleges, you know.
Everybody in that city must eat there every night.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been to one, but I go to a lot of farmers markets when I'm traveling. I enjoy that. So I imagine that's, in some ways, it kind of comes out of that sort of avenue because there were stalls of ready-to-made food to eat there. Yeah. What is it? What can people expect, you know, when they show up to something like this? Is it a lot of small startups that kind of get their start there, or is it established restaurants?
It's, since the cost of starting a restaurant is so crazy lower going through a food hall, because, you know, to start a restaurant's $250,000, $350,000. And the food hall, you can do it for $8 to $15,000. I mean, you can spend whatever you want. So if you want to go crazy, you can get up to 30 or 35 or something. But so we picture a lot of startups. We want to have, we've got a no compete clause. So each stall will be selling different food that doesn't compete. So it's not just going to be like 5 pizza joints and a hot dog place. It's a lot of startups. We've got one that's already signed, which is awesome because our actual campaign starts in March to try to get vendors. And we've already got 4 maybes and one that's already signed just from me calling contractors to do construction work and then being like, well, my brother knows how to cook real well and he's been starting it. And but the concept's kind of coming from the like death of food trucks. A lot of states, and including Wisconsin, the Tavern League in Wisconsin got after the food trucks, and there's a law saying that if you provide food and drink, you have to provide a bathroom. So they got the state to not finally, but I mean, it works for us. So I guess finally, not that I have anything against food trucks, but the food trucks have to supply a bathroom. So you're only going to start seeing them, and you probably have been seeing them in festivals where they have porta potties and they have a signed contract saying that the people can use them, or in parking lots of businesses for lunch where the business signed something saying that all the customers can use the bathroom on the inside.
Or like a factory or something.
Yeah. So a lot of like targeting for trying to find these vendors, a lot of them are people that used to have food trucks, but and want to continue that kind of business, but don't have a way to anymore.
So with the restaurants, I know you're going to start recruiting here soon. Is it something that they sign on for a number of years, or will there be rotating places coming in?
It's up to them and how well they do, pretty much. We use a license structure, so they can do month to month if they don't want to deal with commitment. It'd be a lot to build a kitchen and that and then move out a month later, but I guess that's on their dime.
But yeah, we're having it's going to be much more flexible than like a traditional restaurant lease, because those are usually for 5 or 10 years. Ours are going to be year by year.
You just kind of telling me about your background and just how you come from these different cities where kind of identifying foods that aren't here. More of a personal story from mine. I lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico for a while. Once I moved back to La Crosse, I still can't find a handheld breakfast burrito. So,
oh, you're right. Oh.
So that's something that I used to go to 3 to 4 times. Maybe it wasn't the best, 3 to 4 times a week, and just get that handheld breakfast burrito. I think it was like $6, cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'd eat Knishes for lunch more than I should.
What other types of food are you going after, or that people have potentially opted in, or is there anything you're hoping will come in?
I've got a short list of food that I just selfishly want for myself. And I want a kosher style deli because we really need that here. And I want a soul food place because, again, the best fried chicken in the city is at Quick Trip. Or at least that I found. But it's only KFC, Quick Trip, and we don't have any good old fashioned soul food.
Mm.
So that's my short list, is a Jewish deli and a soul food place. Zach's wants.
Well, I wanted pasta, which we already have, so that's good, because currently there isn't a pasta place downtown. So that's something that is needed, in my opinion. There's no Italian food downtown.
Well, the closest that I found was Olive Garden, I think.
Yeah, and that's way out by the freeway exit.
And it's Olive Garden, so it's like
right.
McDonald's of. I mean, no offense, Olive Garden, don't sue me, but yeah, it's not like a place you would find in Chicago where it's a little old Italian woman who works the counter and cooks all the food in front of you.
I would also like to have some Southeast Asian dish, some Thai curries, Thai noodles, crab rangoon, some of that good stuff.
We definitely want to get a Hmong place.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to have every group, and we want it to represent the community.
So what has been the response? Either, I know you guys are on Facebook, you've done a little advertising with the pasta place. I see that coming in. What has been the response from talking to people or online?
It has been so much better and bigger than we planned this for June, and we've already got people calling us trying to order food. That was today.
Yeah.
And I having to explain to them, well, sure, we could take your order, but you'll get it June 1st. So it's kind of a slow delivery time right now. We expected it to be received pretty well because everybody kind of likes the idea, in the other cities that exist, but the reception has been just a lot, and and it's just moving a lot faster than we planned, which is good. I mean, that's always a good sign when everybody's on board. And when you tell people about it, like you talk to the banker gets almost more excited than we are about it. And
yeah, it does seem like an opportunity for local businesses or people that like yourselves want to try something like this to kind of break that barrier to access to actually start that passion project, with the kind of lower costs of entry. Seems like a bunch of entrepreneurs getting together to kind of lift this place up. It's pretty exciting. So opening in June.
And the model, we provide like almost everything. They got to provide their kitchen equipment, but even like the dishes and the flatware and the glasses, we provide that, and we provide the busing and everything, and
phones, POS systems, advertising. We do all of that.
So it really does open the door for like somebody that has a passion in it, but hasn't been saving up their whole life to be able to jump into it.
Well, I'm excited for it. I mean, it just seems like more of a communal, I don't know if there's communal dining, but it just seems like something that's a little bit more
dining,
community focused and stuff that people haven't seen here in the area.
Structurally, that's what it is. It's one big dining hall, and then it has stalls coming off of the sides, and then it has a big old bar because it's Wisconsin. And
so wait, there's going to be beers too?
Yeah.
We're having a bar.
Oh, geez. This has got cooler.
We're going to stay open till bar time. So it'll be the only place downtown that sells liquor and food after 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And this food won't be fried. It'll be actually cooked.
Yeah. And it's not just going to be fryer food. All the places it's 2 floors, and every stall that's on the same floor as the bar has to sign an agreement that they will stay open till bar time and serve their full menu.
Wow. This just got even more interesting.
Well, because that's what in Chicago they have Chicago's Pizza, which is a delivery Chicago style pizza place that delivers till 5 a.m. And there the bars are open till 5 or 4, and then on Saturdays they're open till 5. So I went through my 20s with, you leave the bar and then you can order a big old pizza and eat food you shouldn't eat and go through that natural process of drunk to hungry.
And you have a lot of experience in the bar industry, right?
Yeah, I managed some pretty big name bars over in Chicago. The most famous is probably John Barleycorn, right next to Wrigley Field, and then another one in Lincoln Park. I mean, they have $1 million weekends. They were insane.
So opening in June, I feel like there's a lot of chatter going on about it. Where can people find out more? What's the best avenue for them to follow along?
Our website, right now it's just a landing page, but I made a fancy landing page that's 3 pages. So if you're curious on finding out about it, or if you are curious, like wanting to become a vendor, it has a page for each of those. And it's got a description of the concept. One of the pages, I think it's titled The Obvious Question, What is a Food Hall?
Yep. LAXFoodHall.com. People check out what's a food hall. They can also become a vendor and also follow your different social media accounts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll be, as time goes on and as I work more and more on the website, it'll keep getting more and more in depth. I'm doing the website myself though, so it's slow. On opening day, we're going to have what's the word I'm looking for? Like a black tie gala. I talked to a guy over at the Symphony. He's going to send us a little troupe. And that's really just a personal thing of I always wanted to go with one of those, and I've never been important enough to get to go to one. I've worked them in the bar industry, so that'll be fun. We're going to give out invitations for that. It'll be an excuse to wear a tuxedo or a fancy dress. And since the building's Art Deco and the Historic Society's keeping, our sign had to be period. And then since with me being an architect, I love Art Deco, so we're kind of just going real heavy Art Deco with all of our stuff. We're going to probably keep that theme for the gala. The little cocktail girls wearing similar to the cigar and cigarette girls. I'm thinking Roger Rabbit right here. The Eddie Valen.
Very Art Deco. We're in 1920s, 1930s themed.
It's the 20s again. So
yeah, it looks like you updated your social media with that. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't really associate that with that, but it's great.
Yeah, it was a shock to me when I was like, it's the 20s. It's not 2000. Like, we don't have to say 2000 anymore. We're finally out of the teens, or we can say 20s or 30s or 40s.
Back to the 20s.
And I was like, yeah. So maybe all the 20s stuff will come back, and except for the depression part.
Yeah, we didn't want that to come back. The stock market crash.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.